What's up, Orcamaniacs, and welcome to Double Dribble episode number 9, entitled This Week Against All Odds. I'm Double R Ricky Rodriguez, got my partner G Asensio down in the corner over there. Right next to him is our coach, Coach Don. We also got the Doc hanging out with us. It looks like Ferran's just logging in right now. And then we got the man of the hour, our guest of honor, Mr. Josiah Whitehead. Thank you, Josiah, for hanging out with us, brother.
No problem, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, buddy. So Josiah, let's get into you a little bit here. You're late, Ferran. The boss is late.
I'm never late. I'm never late.
I'm never late. It's
I'm never late. Tardy.
I know you're never tardy.
Tardy, but never late.
All right, well, we just got started. So, and then this is the boss man in the corner, Ferran. That's why we're all giving him crap, because he's the boss. So, all right. So let's go ahead and get rolling. Josiah, dude, we were just talking before we got on air about how freaking hot it is right now. You're not used to this, are you?
No, hold on. No, I'm not. I'm not. It's different. It's different, man. My cousin warned me about this weather.
Well, why do you say that?
I heard it gets hotter, too. That's the crazy part about it.
Oh, yeah.
Not as bad as other places, man.
Yeah, but aren't you used to, like, the humidity where you're from? Where are you from again?
Yeah, Virginia. I'm from the southern part of Virginia, so it gets hot, but it's just, I don't know, man. It feels different. I actually I like the sun, like I like summer, but this is I don't know, man. I've been trying to stay inside more, and I'm not used to that. So
yeah,
clearly something different here.
It's so weird. I know. Right. I hate not going out. I usually water ski. I usually go to the beach. I usually do all that stuff, and it's just freaking weird being stuck in a hot box for X amount of time. You know, it's freaking crazy. Which sucks even more because we had freaking tryouts coming up, man. I was looking forward to seeing you out there.
Hey, man, I was looking forward to it because I haven't played organized basketball in a year. So even when I moved out here in November, I'll go play at 24-hour fitness, but it's the competition. It varies. You know what I mean? Most of the time, you got guys who can play, but it's different. You can tell the difference when you're playing against guys who played maybe Division I basketball or college basketball. So I haven't played against like some good competition in a while, which I knew for a fact it was going to be some good competition at the tryout. So I was looking forward to it.
It's still going to happen. It's just a matter of when. Me and G were just talking about this. It's just a matter of when, you know. So
right.
We'll see. I mean, like we talked about a couple shows ago, we have a stacked roster right now. Coach said if we go with the team we got now, we can step up to anybody, you know?
I believe it, man. I believe it. I know before I even came out here, like I was just following a lot of people who play basketball. So I found out like 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, there was like a huge basketball like community in Cali. I mean, I'm on the East Coast, so I really don't know too much about Cali. I really don't know. I've only been here twice. This is my second time being here. Like I've only visited here one time. First time I visited was like, I don't know, when I was like 19 years old. So I'm way older than that. So yeah, so when I started following people like Buddha, or like I just started following like mad people, and then I realized they were all from Cali, and I was like, oh yeah, they got some ballers out here. You know what I mean? So, and then of course the Drew League. So
what made you move out here? What made you make the big decision and get out here in Cali?
It was really a random decision. My cousin been trying to get me to come out here for years. My cousin, he used to work for YouTube, and like he does videography and stuff, and that's what I do now. That's what I love to like. I love to like make videos and like highlight videos. That's so cool. He was like, you need to come out here. There's like a good fan base out here. And I didn't know. I was like, whatever, bro. Like, I'm not coming out to Cali, you know? So he was just like, just come. He's been telling me for years. He was telling me since like 2016. He was like, just come. I'm like, I'm good. So then finally I was working like in New York at some prep school doing like monetizing their Instagram, doing the same thing. And then like, I don't know, it was just shaky there. And I was just like, I said, bro, I'm about to quit my job. And he was like, yo, just come here. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna come. And then like being out here, it was just it's a total culture shock, the way people move, the way people act. But like, I'm glad I'm out here. Like it's I think it's going to benefit me in the long run for sure.
Yeah, we're glad to have you out here, bro. I mean, we've seen you on TV, we've seen you do your thing. You know, we're really excited to have you here. So welcome to Cali, dude.
When you say that, man, I'm like,
Isn't it
I don't
crazy?
understand how you can say that. But how can you say that? Like, no one really knows me out here. Like,
I know your name though, bro. Like I saw the name, Ferran. You showed me the name. I'm like, oh yeah, no way. That's I know who that is. You know, I watched the tournament. Come on now. But before we get into all that, dude, all right, we're talking about you're on the East Coast. You've only been to Cali twice. What's the like? Give us some background, bro. Where did you start? Like as a child, did you play little, you know, like small fry basketball on the East Coast? Like, what was your path, bro?
Just in Virginia for the most part. Just growing up in Virginia, it's an area called Portsmouth, Virginia. So I was just brought up there all my life. I just lived out there at a young age, playing basketball. That's it. But I mean, I wasn't really that good growing up. I was like a late bloomer. I was like clumsy. I don't know. I was my parents kept me sheltered because I was brought up in a very religious background. So my parents kept me from like going outside and playing against guys like outside, which I like in the streets, which I think you need to. Like if you're brought up in certain areas, you need to play against some type of guys who's gonna talk trash, who's gonna get physical. So my mom kept me from that for a while. And then like I was a late bloomer to the point where I was like, Mom, like I'm about to pursue basketball, like for sure. So yeah, you gotta let me go. After that, like I was playing catch up, but my work ethic brought me back to the average competition around my way. So
around what age did you actually jump in and start playing league?
Late. Probably like 12, man. I didn't know about AAU. I didn't know about AAU till I was like 17 years old.
Oh, wow.
Right. That was a late bloomer, man. My mom kept me, my parents kept me very sheltered. Like they just was big on like staying away from the street, staying away from like certain kids. So like I didn't know about I used to just play with my brothers. I got two brothers. We just go outside and just like dribble basketball, do one-on-one, stuff like that. But watch basketball, of course, on TV, but it was never like in an organized, never nothing serious.
That's crazy.
But you know, I guess when they realized how much I loved it, it was like, okay, we gotta get them in this. So
when would you say was your like first big deal when you actually did like do some organized basketball?
Listen, man, I would never forget this, man. I would never forget this. This is how late I was. I didn't know what 3 seconds was. I played my first organized game. I was so scared, man. I remember I caught the ball, like someone passed it to me at half court. I threw it. I just threw it at the rim for no reason. Like I was scared. I was nervous. Like I didn't know about 3 seconds. The referee kept on saying 3 seconds because I'm just standing in the paint. And they were like 3 seconds. I was like, what is 3 seconds? Well, I don't know, man. It was nerve wracking. It was nerve wracking. I was scared. I was just like, man, like. But at the same time, I knew I loved basketball. So I was like, I mean, I'm going to have to go through these growing pains. You know what I mean? Like, I had to go through this because I just really love basketball. So, but that's how it was.
How'd you figure yourself out after that?
What'd you say?
How'd you figure yourself out after that? Like, what kept you going through all that?
It's just the love. To be honest, man, it's just the love for basketball, man. Like, I think about this stuff a lot too, like just reminiscing about my life. Like even now, I'm like, yo, what kept me going through all the like the hard times? Because like I went through a lot of hard times as far as like I said, I was a late bloomer, so I'm playing catch up. And my area of basketball is a lot of good competition. I mean, it's good competition everywhere. It was very competitive around my way. And you know, I'm from the hood, so you know, if you're not good, they're gonna let you know about it. They're gonna joke you. They go, you know, the crowd gets into it. You know what I mean? I come from that area, and I was just like, it was just nerve wracking. But I knew I wanted that. So I was just like, you know what? Let me go out there. Let me get dunked on. Let me get crossed up. It's fine. The next day I'm back out there again because I just really wanted to. I really wanted to figure out how to play basketball. So it was really just a love to answer your question.
Yeah. Okay. So with that said, you said it's a love. Would you consider it more of a passion, more of an escape, since you said you were in the hood, or a little bit of both?
Nah, it won't ever escape. Because I actually like being in the hood, even though my mom kept me sheltered. I like being in the hood. So it won't like an escape. It was just a passion, to be honest. It was just a love. Like it was just a love from the beginning. Like my dad used to talk about it. My dad used to sit me down and we used to watch Duke games when Grant Hill used to play, Jamal Mashburn, all these guys, and I'm like, okay, I'm with it. Like I'm so like this is what I want to play. I don't know how far I'm gonna go with it, but I just know I just want to play basketball. That's all I want to do. So
cool. So as a child,
I just want to hoop. I just want to hoop.
Yeah. Who as a
No,
child?
go ahead. No, go
As
ahead.
a child, who was your motivation growing up? It could be an athlete or maybe your dad or your brother, or cousin, whatever.
It was my dad. I didn't really have any favorite players growing up as far as like basketball. I used to just watch. I used to like Charles Barkley, but I didn't have no favorites. I never liked Michael Jordan. I mean, I never I mean he was never my favorite player. Like I know greatness when I see it. Come on, like I'm not stupid. Like that's greatness. But he was never my favorite player. But it was just my dad. Like I just wanted to be like my dad. I wanted to go to the same high school my dad went to because he played basketball. My dad never played college basketball, but he was just known around the area as far as basketball. So I was like, I want to be just as good as my dad. So he was my motivation growing up.
Cool. G, you had something?
Yeah, does with that being said, like, does your dad like still help you out on your game? Does he give you any pointers?
It's sad. The sad part about it, man. Like me and my dad aren't really even talking right now because of stuff. like yeah. no, it's cool. It's not a big deal. Like it was just it's just something that happened like 2 years ago. So we haven't been talking. But I mean, we send messages to each other, but it's not like we never had like a legit conversation. But my dad sends me like videos of like my dad still sends me like videos of like I don't know, like someone working out. Like J.R. Smith was working out. He sent that to me. A recent workout, J.R. Smith. Like we just don't have conversations. Like it's just kind of awkward. But he knows. He gave me enough pointers. He was just big on if you really love the game, you will put in the work. That's all he was. Like because he knew it got to the point where it was nothing he could teach me. You know, when you only play high school basketball, you got to learn from people who's played college basketball. When you want to go to when you want to play pro basketball, you got to learn from people who's played pro basketball. Like, you know, so he knew it got to the point where you got to figure it out yourself, you know, and if you really love the game, you'll figure it out yourself. So that's how it was for him.
I like that you just said that if you're in high school, you need a college person. If you're in college, you need a pro, because those are your next steps. Those are your stepping stones to the next level where you're going. It's not someone who they were there 25 years ago, but it's still that younger connection, you know, it's huge.
Right.
You said that numerous times.
It's a lot of people miss out on that too, man. Like, and sometimes, like, even when I go back home, I'll work out with like my high school coach, but I only do it because I know it's more benefit for him than it is for me. You know what I mean? He'll give me like certain pointers, or sometimes it can be a benefit from like going back to the beginning and like going back to basics. But for the most part, I know like if I'm trying to get to a certain level or I'm trying to develop my game, you have to have a balance. You have to learn from people who's been there. You know what I mean? You have to. Or you're gonna have a whatever level you are, you're gonna have that mindset. If you're only training with college coaches, trainers, you're gonna have a college mindset because they're gonna train you like a college player because they've never been in that level. You know what I mean? You need to learn certain pointers and specific things, whether it's certain angles. You get that from like you gotta learn that from other people. So yeah.
And you, especially with college and pro ball, there's a lot of similarities, but there's a lot of differences too. So if you have that college guy teaching you, you have different rules in college than you do in the pro. Same thing with ABA and Euro ball.
Exactly. It's totally different. I had to learn how to play Europe ball. It's not the same as college basketball. It's not the same. Even though the talent in American basketball, clearly the talent is way better than Europe. Well, I can't say that now.
I don't know about
like, as far as
it's close.
But I'm just saying, like at like the ages of, let's say, college basketball, the ages of what 19 to 21 is where American basketball is still at a high level, but it doesn't matter if you're trying to transition to go play overseas. You got to learn how they play. You know what I mean?
The lifestyle too.
Yeah, a lifestyle, which is probably the biggest thing. Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so before we get into your Euro journey, all right, did you go straight to Robert Morris after high school, or was there a step before that, or how did that work?
Nah, so I went to a junior college because like I said, I wasn't good. I really wasn't good. So after my high school career, I didn't have any offers.
Oh,
I
wow.
literally didn't have no offers at all. I went to a D3. There was like a D3 college was in North Carolina, and we went there and visited. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm not going to go to no Division III basketball. You know what I mean? So what I did was I went to a JUCO in Maryland called Cecil Community College. It's called Cecil College now, but it was called Cecil Community College, and they were good at developing kids and sending them Division I. Everybody who went there went Division I. So I went to like a tryout, and I guess they accepted me. I guess they saw the hard work. That's what it was. They saw the hard work.
Mm-hmm.
They saw the hard work, and they were like, you know what? We want to take a chance with him. And then after that,
you got to prove
after
yourself.
2 years at my junior college, I got a couple of offers playing Division I. So
okay, cool. And of course, you went to Robert Morris after that, correct?
Yep.
Was that a full-fledged scholarship or?
Yeah, full scholarship. Yeah,
nice.
full scholarship.
Very nice.
Yep.
And where's Robert Morris again?
It's in Pittsburgh.
Okay, so kind of close to home. Kind of, he got to go stay somewhat in the area. So
Yeah. Well, it was kind of far. It's cold there, but I mean, it's still. I mean, it was cool. I wanted to get away anyway, so I like to travel. So I was like, anywhere that's like, okay, cool, I'm with it.
And how many years did you play at Robert Morris?
2 years. 2 years at my junior college, then 2 years at Robert Morris.
Okay, cool. And you went to the NCAA both years with Robert Morris, or just the 1 year? Both years,
That's
right?
crazy. You did your research, huh? Yeah, I did.
Dude, I watched you. I told you, I know who you are. I'm not like stalker status or anything.
Right.
But I've seen you play.
But yeah, I did. Yeah, I did 2 years there. I went to NCAA tournament twice.
Cool.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good experience. A lot of people don't get the chance to play.
That was my next question, dude. What was the experience like going to the NCAA tournament? It was like a dream for people growing up.
Right. It's the first year we played against Michigan State. It was I'm not gonna say it didn't hit me the first year. It was just like, okay, we were playing. We would just play against Michigan State. But I remember Tom Izzo, that game, I remember I was talking to my friend who played with me recently, who I played with on the team. I was talking to him recently, and he was talking about during the game. He said, "Did you watch Tom Izzo?" Tom Izzo was on. He has a high temper, but this game he looked worried, and the reason why is because he knew how good we were. Even though they beat us, but after that game, in the post interview he said, "If you don't know who Robert Morris is, you should know who they are now." And he said, "Don't worry, you will know about them." That the next year we played Villanova in the NCAA tournament in the first round, and we almost upset them when we lost by 3. And they were clearly cheating. Like the referees was clearly cheating to the point where I guess the head referee he banned those 3 referees for the NCAA tournament because of that. But at the same time, Villanova they were favored to go to the Final Four that year, and you can't have a team like Robert Morris who's not even NEC conference who's really about to upset this team. So all of us fouled out the game and we lost by 3 in overtime. So.
Me personally, I like Cinderella stories. I liked when you guys did your thing. What was it? Loyola Chicago. That story was
right.
Cool. Remember that?
Right. That was good. Yeah.
The little old lady.
I root for all the underdogs. I root for all the underdogs.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
It's exciting. Yeah. Doc, do you got anything? You look pretty interested over there. You look like you're thinking something up. What you got? She's always got good stuff, bro.
Well, I just wanted to welcome Josiah out here to Cali, to the scene out here. From the people that I see that you're following on Instagram and that you're connected with, I think that you're in a really good place. Taylor Statham Academy, that's a really good guy to go to for runs. Obviously, you got the invite from me for X versus X.
Right.
Oh, there it is. Right. I knew that was coming.
Right.
That Meta put together, and he's just really a great guy, and he's doing some really great things with that. It's gonna really explode. So it's in the beta phase right now, but soon it's gonna be open for everybody. and he has a lot of really great plans for it. So look out for that being something really huge. And but yeah, like we're doing a lot of runs right now with that. So more than welcome to come out and get some runs in.
Yeah, I saw the one run. It was crazy. It was out. What was it? Is it Sherman Oaks? It was at a Jewish. It was at a Jewish. Was that a Jewish school, right? With a blue court.
So it was an invite only, like pretty much pro game. So it's, most of those guys were like
right.
overseas or you know.
Right. But the crazy part about it, before this whole pandemic, I'm working with them now, but I was working with a basketball school who trains kids, and that's one of the original sites that that's one of the main sites that we train kids. So I was looking at, I don't know what I was doing, but I was looking through photos. I don't know where I was at. I think I was on his page, and I was like, yo, that gym looks so familiar. I was on one of his stories. I was like, yo, that gym looks so familiar. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. Like that's literally, I live in this area, so like that's like 10 minutes from me. So I was like, yo, that's crazy.
That's cool. So you said you work with kids. Are you looking to possibly coach maybe after your playing career's over?
I don't want to coach. I don't want to coach.
Coach is laughing.
I don't want to coach, man. To be honest, me is more like personal reasons and like stuff that I've been through. Like growing up, like I was always taught to treat people fair. Like my parents taught me like respect everybody. If someone's older than you, say yes sir, no sir. I still talk like that to this day. That's how I was brought up. But you know, when you go to college and you witness in the world, you realize the world, you know, will use your kindness and abuse it. So there was a lot of incidents in my college careers where I feel like I was doing the right thing. I didn't care about girls. I didn't care about drinking, smoking, partying. All I wanted to do was just play basketball. And I was a hard worker, but it was times where I feel like people started over me, or coaches abused me because of my kindness. I don't know if y'all know who Mike Rice is. He was the guy a couple of years ago. There was a huge thing where they made a highlight of him. He used to coach at Rutgers. He was banned from coaching for a while, for a long time, because they had videos of him choking his players. Robert Morris. I mean, he was our coach at Robert Morris when we went to the NCAA tournament. He was our coach. So he didn't do that to us, but he was on that level of like doing crazy stuff, to the point where I was one of the guys who got the worst of it, because even though I was brought up in the hood and I had that mindset of like, when we got on the court, I love to compete, but I also respected people. If you're older than me, I would learn to respect you. But he was one of the guys and other coaches who took that and abused it. So that being said, to answer your question, I did help. I was coaching. It was one year I got hurt after college, after my first year in Mexico. I got hurt. One of my old coaches asked me to help coach with him at this new prep school, which was in Pennsylvania. And it was just a lot of favoritism. There was a lot of guys who worked hard like me, but didn't get no playing time. And for me, I can't stand it. I can't watch it. I can't watch people who don't work hard, or not even work hard, people who get more favoritism because of who they are, or maybe their name or their status, you know what I mean? So I don't like that. So it's just like, it really gets to me. So I'm like, you know what? I can't coach. Because if I see someone working harder than someone who's maybe more talented, I'm gonna play the person who's working harder. But that's not, you don't win games that way. So you gotta play the guy who's gonna win you games. So I can't do it, man. I can't coach. I'll train you though. I can't coach.
It's a special mentality, right, Coach?
Right, it is.
Yeah, Coach Don, you gotta
balance it out, Coach. Isn't that right? To have the balance, ego problems and all that stuff. Like we also the last dance.
It's a tough spot to coach, especially the higher up you go.
Right.
You got egos and you got guys that were stars wherever they played at. But that's really important to have, guys that put the team first and buy in. And because that means, whoever's playing well that day is playing, and they don't get hurt if they played, hey, I started last week, now I'm on the bench, but because they understand, hey, the matchups and blah, blah, blah. But also as a coach, you got to stand on something. So,
right.
Every coach has to stand.
I like that. That.
And a lot of bad seeds, there's a lot of bad coaches, just like there's a lot of bad police officers, there's a lot of bad reporters, there's a lot of bad in every industry.
Right.
Don't let one bad seed, a few bad seeds ruin it for everybody. But as a coach, you really got to balance winning versus what you want to accomplish. And, for me, it's, winning is, I'm super competitive, but are we making the men better on and off the court?
Right.
Yeah. Amazing, because the whole the ministry behind everything I do is for the longer term. A game is just a game. A win is just a win, but it's the long term effect on someone's life that I care about.
Right.
And he does. Trust me, we've got a lot of backstories.
I heard,
mentor,
man. Trust me, I do my research, man. Ooh. Like I see guys who play with you, like Buddha. I don't really know the other guy's real name, but I know his username on Instagram is Adam.
Flash.
Even I think and even his, I don't know if it's his brother. Like I see these guys, and I can tell these guys are for the team, and that's why like these guys are winners. They have a winning mindset. You know what I mean? So yeah. I see. I watch. I know who has that mindset. I can tell.
So with you saying that you're not you don't like the violent coaches, you don't like people who get like really aggressive, but you say when you're on the court, you're pretty hardcore. How would you mentor, say, like an up and coming brand new rookie on the squad? How would you, like, if they made a mistake, how would you approach them?
Like oh man, like what do you mean, like a rookie?
Verbally, let's just say on the team, you make the team this year. You've played ball many years, and you get this kid who's like brand new out of college, makes a big mistake.
I was just confidence more than anything. I was just giving more confidence. I would give more encouraging, like tell them you made it. I don't know, man. I've done it before. I tell them what they've done, but also like I don't know, back it up with. But you know what? Like, don't worry about it, man. It is what it is. We all make mistakes. Blah blah blah. Like, just almost like let them know what they've done wrong, but also, encourage them at the same time, man. Like, especially rookies, you know what I mean? Because they want to. A lot of them are like, this is all new to them. You know what I mean? So a lot of them maybe it's different. Professional basketball is totally different from college basketball. So, if you got someone who can encourage you and tell you what you're doing wrong, but also know how to say it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, that's the type of person I am. Because if I would have had that, I would have been I've had a successful career. I would have been even more. I feel like I would have been in the NBA, to be honest.
Yeah.
I lost a lot of confidence playing college basketball, and but I just stuck with it because I knew how good I was. But if I had someone literally telling me, like, or giving me confidence all the time, like, that you can do this, even though you messed up, whatever. But if someone gave me confidence, I feel like I would have definitely made it to the NBA, to be honest.
Yeah. And what's funny? It's funny you say
Josiah.
that. I was just coming to you, Ferran. Literally coming to you. Ferran likes this kind of attitude. Go ahead, Ferran.
Yeah, no, I wanted to find out. So as you now train these youth, and of course it takes a lot of patience to work with that age level. So how do you now, teach that confidence in return to these guys and girls who maybe don't have the right form, or whatever that you see that they're making the mistake of? How do you now address that to them to where they listen to you and take that courage away?
The kids that I'm training now, they're very young. They're like, none of them are over 11 years old, most of them. So there's they have to learn the basics. A lot of these kids they want to shoot shots from half court. They can't even make a layup. They want to do all the behind the 1, 2 dribbles, 3 dribbles, all these combos, but they can't even go a simple between the legs layup. They can't do simple stuff. Or even, let's say, if I am training, because I do train kids who are like 13 or 14, I really focus on the basics. Let's do form shooting. Let's get it right. Let's make 3 in a row. Let's make 5 in a row. Form shooting, one hand. And it's boring, but for me, I try to make it exciting. Like, or I say stuff like, let's get the boring stuff out of the way. Let's get it out of the way. You know, let's have fun with this. You like embrace. I always see you stuff like embrace the uncomfortable, like embrace being uncomfortable. Like, you know, I might say a joke or something like that, but I always try to make it fun, especially during the times when we first start, or we got to do stationary ball handling drills. Like, no one wants to do stationary ball handling drills. So let's like, okay, up and back, you know, right hand, up and back, left hand, opposite hand, like certain things. Let's just get it out of the way. Let's have fun with it so we can get to the fun stuff. But let's enjoy this first. Embrace what's going on right now. Embrace this uncomfortableness. Embrace it. So now I'm just big on the boring stuff, which the kids don't, the boring stuff that the kids don't want to do. Like, embrace it and learn it, and then, you know, that's what I'm big on, embracing the boring stuff.
I mean, when you say boring, to me, that's the fundamentals, because if you don't have the basics of the fundamentals of basketball, then
right, the fundamentals.
If everybody thinks they could do what they see on TV off the top, that's not realistic. I mean, that's talking at levels of, you know, people's career, that they practice those moves or do whatever. So yeah, I mean, the fundamentals, you got to do that to start.
Right. But, you know, these kids, you know, it's called fundamentals, which is, you know, people our age, we know that is key for anything. That's just in life, fundamentals to anything, if you want to be successful in anything. But these kids, you know, I mean, you gotta give credit to Instagram. You know, all the what do they see? Highlights. What do they see? Highlights, flashes, crossovers, behind the back passes. You know what I mean? They see all this. This is what they want to do. But, you know, they don't want to do the stuff that they don't see, the stuff that the Spurs preach and all that stuff. So, you know, I try to bring that type of formula to them, because, you know, that's why I say we can get to the other stuff. But let's embrace this part first, and then you'll see a big difference.
And my last question before we move on is so with that teaching fundamentals, do you think that we could also teach confidence and courage and things like that? That you say that if you had it, you know, from someone else, but do you think that we could teach people to generate that from within themselves, so they don't need that outside confidence that you know, because that, I hear what you're saying, because that subconscious mind will talk you out of your whole game, and that's just you talking to yourself, right? But do you think that we could actually teach confidence where that person has that within themselves?
A lot of kids, man, I feel like a lot of kids nowadays do have confidence, to be honest. There's a lot of kids who brought up in confidence, and a lot of reasons, because of there's more kids who are starting basketball at a young age. Like, literally, basketball nowadays is a job. Like, it's like these kids play 24/7. You know what I mean? Like AAU, whatever, tournaments, these kids. So a lot of kids are brought up with, I feel like, there's a lot of more confidence for this generation. But the kids who maybe have confidence but deal with it off and on, you know, I definitely think it can be organically, I guess, grown. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. For me, I had to learn it myself. I had to. If you put in the work, confidence comes with work ethic. You know what I mean? So if you know you're putting in the work, you know, if you putting up 500 shots a day, you know you can make that three. If you're doing ball handling drills all the time and you're really getting uncomfortable doing it, you're gonna feel comfortable doing it when the lights is on. So I kind of went off a little bit.
You're on the right path. I mean, and that's the thing. See, a lot of people don't understand. You might have confidence in one area of your life, and then that same confidence you don't think you have in this other area, but it's only you. There is no other person in that area of confidence. So, you know, what you're saying is definitely on point, because, again, if you talk yourself out of it, you could talk yourself into it. And so a lot of times we think we need to be inspired or be motivated or be confident by some other people. But if you have that generated from within yourself, then you become unstoppable regardless who's in your ear. And I appreciate you saying that, man. Thank you.
For sure.
Yeah. Hey, Josiah, I just wanted to rewind it and bring it back real quick, because we kind of mentioned it earlier about your time overseas, but I kind of wanted to know how was your experience out there? How did you make your way out there?
So for me, I had to do everything the hard way. So after college, Of course, because I didn't put up crazy numbers. My college, Robert Morris, my average is like below 10 points. So it was horrible if you're trying to play overseas. So what I didn't know about agents, I didn't know about none of this stuff, man. So what I was doing was going to a lot of D-League tryouts. But like that, I remember that summer I was just working my butt off and I was killing at these D-League tryouts to the point where a couple of people was giving me like information like where did you play or like you're good enough. I actually even from playing at Robert Morris, I got an invite to like a open gym with the Wizards. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Just because like I really put in some crazy work. I was very motivated because I didn't like my coaches during the time, and like they were telling me quit basketball, get a 9 to 5. Like it was crazy. So I was like, you know what? Like that just motivated me. Like I was like a madman, to be honest. I was like a madman. So when I was going to these trials and I'm playing against these guys with the University of Miami, Rutgers, I'm demolishing these guys. I'm demolishing. And I got a full scholarship because to play basketball because I could play defense. I got a scholarship because I could guard 1 through 5. Like I could guard 1 through 5, full court 1 through 5. And so that being said, that just helped me. These guys was like, yo, you're gonna keep in contact with, or they would give me agents' numbers. And then from there, I just got overseas, man. Like these agents didn't come through, to be honest. They were like, well, how was your resume? Blah, blah, blah. I didn't have a resume. So I had to start from playing ABA basketball. I took 1 year off playing ABA basketball after college. And I got some film. I sent it to some players, to some coaches from overseas. I basically didn't have an agent. I was like, you know what? Forget agents. I'm going to do it myself. I was like, forget the middleman. I'm going to do it myself. And then after that, from playing from ABA basketball, I went to go play in another pro league in Chicago. And then from there, I got Rookie of the Year at this pro league in Chicago. And then from there, I went to France, which was my first offer. And it was literally just from me doing it myself. I didn't have any people. I would just get my film. I learned how to edit myself because I would ask people to edit my videos, but no one they was like, oh, I got you. But no one was really helping. I was like, you know what? Don't worry. I'm going to do it myself. I've been doing everything myself this far. And then so I promoted myself. I was sending it out to random people. I found about Eurobasket where you can find any coach there. So I was literally finding their Facebook, their Instagrams, their emails, and I was just sending my film. And then a couple of people hit me back, and then France was the main one. It was like, okay, we like you, man. We wanna bring you here. So that's how it was. I literally had to do everything myself, monitor, promote myself, and be my own self, be my own me.
So 2 questions off of that. The first question is, are you still your own agent? That's the first one. And the second one is, we talked about confidence earlier, and you said that your confidence was kind of iffy. How were you feeling when you got the call from France and you're like, oh my God, I have to go all the way to the other side of the world, but I'm doing what I love and I'm pushing for that main goal. How did you feel?
By this time, I was super confident. Because that summer, man, when my coaches told me quit basketball and just forget about it. And they weren't really, it's not like let's get this right. My coaches didn't hate me, but they was just like, you didn't do anything. You know what I mean? Like, just, it's going to be hard to get overseas. I was a madman. Like, I literally stayed in the gym. Like, I would have if I would go to sleep, I was literally dreaming about basketball. Like, I stayed, I didn't go home. I stayed up at my college, and I just stayed up there, and I just worked out probably 3 times a day, like each session 2 hours. I was a madman to the point where I really developed into a prolific scorer. Like, I already could play defense. I was just killing. So by this point, I'm like, okay, can't nobody guard me. I was literally thinking that, especially when the Wizards hit me up. I was like, oh no, can't nobody guard me. So then once I went to France, I was like, I'm ready. Like, the only thing with France was the culture shock, not be able to speak the language. But as far as once we get on the court, no, it's go time. That's how I was.
Crazy. What was your you obviously had to adjust to the lifestyle, you had to adjust to the languages, even though basketball is universal.
Right.
But what was your biggest memory playing overseas? Anything that really stood out to you?
That's a good one. That's a good question. Argentina, man.
Okay.
Their fans is. I think that the fans. I think that's the biggest thing, man. their fans, like, I think if you had any basketball player, man, like, it's the fans is what people remember them. Like, is a lot of memories that a lot of players remember. Like, it was just their fans, Argentina's fans, man. Like, that was the first time I saw, like, I would watch it on YouTube, or I would see when you're in places like Europe or in Turkey, and during the whole game, they're screaming and they're yelling all that stuff. And I was like, I would love to be a part of that. My first game in Argentina, I played horrible. The reason I played horrible because I was like, this was total of a culture shock. It was so loud in there. I couldn't hear. Like, the stadium was going crazy because it was a first home game. And, like, I'm the star player. So I'm like, yo, like, I don't think I can handle this. That's how I was thinking. Like, that their fans were so crazy that it took me out my game. Like, my first game there, it took me out my game to the point where I'm literally focusing on the fans more than the game. Like, coaches in the huddle, he's talking. I'm looking at the fans like, yo, these people are crazy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that was the biggest memory, as far as, like, it was a good memory because I'm like, yo, they really love basketball. You know what I mean? They're really passionate. So that's part. I mean, I got a lot of memories, man. Like, of course, like, stuff off the court I've seen, like, stuff that I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I have a lot of good memories in Morocco. That was different. That was a huge culture shock. But Argentina was definitely, like, their fan base was the biggest.
Yeah, they produced some pretty good players too. Doc, you have something
right? They are.
You wanted to ask him, right? Something you're fan related. You wanted to ask him possibly.
Say again?
Regarding, do you have any? You had a question regarding our fan base here that you usually ask the other players to Josiah. That's your question. I ain't stealing that from you.
Yeah, my question is, what would you say to prospective fans of the Orcas and of the ABA in general? Like, what can they expect to see from you and what you would bring to the team in general, like something that would be exciting for them to want to come and watch these games?
That's a good question. I really don't know. I don't consider myself an exciting player, but I definitely consider myself a winner. So, I mean, if you like basketball, you'll love my game because I'm not a flashy guy. I get straight to the point. When I shoot threes, I don't hit my head. I don't do all these throwing up 3 signs or all this stuff. Like, I'm a winner. That's my mindset. I'm a professional. Like, people say stuff like I'm a killer on the court. I never say that. I say I'm not a killer on the court. I'm a professional. I'm a professional. Like, as a professional, like a hitman. If you see a hitman, he's not out here killing. He's a killer, but he's a professional about it. You know what I mean? He's not flashy. He's professional. And that's how I
go out there and get his job done.
Get the job done. He keep it clean. You know, keep it clean. It's not messy. No, it's a very efficient, and that's how I play. But I mean, I'm very passionate. I love to joke. I love to have fun. I love the game, and all that comes with it. Trash talking. I'm not a trash talker, but I can get into it. I will say smart remarks. I joke more. I'm a joking trash talker more than like, you know, get into your face. Like if I make someone fall, I'm like, you okay, man? You know, your feet might be a little, you know, wipe your feet off next time. I'll say something like that. You know what I mean? But nah, as bringing if someone comes and watches playing for the Orcas in ABA basketball, I think they were, especially this team. I can tell this team is all about winning. And if you're a winner, you embrace the winning mindset and ignore all the flashy stuff, even though that comes with it. But at the end of the day, winning comes first. So,
with that being said, go ahead.
Well, I just add that a lot of the other players that we've been interviewing are really like okay with being a role player in whatever role that they're meant to play, and work together as a team for the greater good of the team. And that are not afraid to put in some hard work. And from what I've been listening to throughout this time, and trust me, I've been listening. Ricky, your mic is just a little tiny bit low, but I've been listening to what you've been saying, and from what you've been saying, you've been putting in the hard work. You're not afraid to put in the hard work. You're dedicated, and that's probably what is going to inspire people, you know, like it's not necessarily like that Mamba mentality to where it's like, I don't know, it just seems like you putting in the hard work is a lot of self-sacrifice, but it's with a love for it. And I'm excited to see like the transition of when, you know, if we do become a part of Orcas, how you start in the beginning of the season as opposed to how you end in the end of the season. And I think that you will probably be one of those players, just from what you've been telling us, that will have a huge improvement throughout the season.
It's that's funny, yo. Like it's funny how you say this, because literally this morning, I'm telling you, I'm always thinking about basketball, even to this day, even though I have other priorities as far as jobs and doing what I got to do, but I'm always thinking about basketball. And I was literally thinking when Kobe said when he first got into the NBA that he was like, I understand why Michael Jordan won so many rings. He says because he knew, he said a lot of these people go after they play basketball, they go and live their life. He said, but I want to get better. So that's how I think. So I was thinking about that today, because I know when I start playing basketball again, even let's say I start off slow. Let's say I start off horrible. And I'm just like, I know how I am. I'm going to get better. That's how I am. I'm going to adjust. I'm going to learn. Like I'm like a robot. I'm gonna absorb what I need to do, what's best for the team. You know, that's the type of person I am. If something needs to happen on a team, we need a defender. Okay, let me get these legs warmed up. Let me go to the gym. Let's start doing a little like hip exercises. We need more of a leader role. Okay, I can do that too. I'm anything that's going to better the team any team that I play for, and that's how I am. I'm always looking to get uncomfortable and embrace getting better. And so the fact that you're saying that that's how I am. Like I always get better within the season. Everywhere I go, everywhere overseas, I always got better within the season. Always. It's because I'm always thinking about how can I improve, and that's how I look at life in general too. So
that's a great outlook. Coach, how do you feel after hearing that he's willing to play anything and do anything in order to help the team?
We already knew that about Josiah just because he was on the show with Ferran a while back, Sports Collective, and he's good friends with one of our players from the summer women's Drew, Gianna.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Listen, so man, let me say this real quick, man. I really commend y'all, man, for doing y'all research, man. Like this is crazy. Yeah, Gianna went to Robert Morris for like a year. That's how I became close friends with her. Mm-hmm. Like, so I know Gianna. So that's what's up.
Yeah, she was a horse at the women's Drew, and we finally got it together, and we almost upset the team that won it all. But my question is, I know who I have in mind for this person, but past or present, what would be the player comparison NBA wise?
Did you hear? Are you there, Josiah?
I think he froze.
Yeah, he froze. Go ahead and turn your camera off and then turn it back on. You should be good. Okay.
My question was so good it made his.
I know. Then he leaves you.
Hey Ricky, if I ever stop coaching, you're in trouble.
I know, apparently. Thanks.
Just playing.
You're all good.
So your question was, who does he compare himself to in the NBA?
What do you guys think?
Like skills wise and his game, what would be the player comparison?
I think he's coming back.
Rodney Rogers from the Knicks.
What'd you say?
He played bigger than his size is, so that's who I would have picked.
Who'd you say, Coach?
Rodney Rogers. He played in the 90s with Ewing and when they had the Oakley and those guys.
Didn't he play on the Nets too?
Yeah, he played for the Nets with Jason Kidd.
Yeah, he played for a few teams, but
and the Celtics.
Yeah, I'm gonna check on him.
So.
Yeah, I was thinking like Odom too, kind of, sort of, because he's a lefty, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just not as lanky.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like Rodney Rogers was.
Okay.
He's 6'7", 250, but that's more stocky. But he is he is more deceptive and can do a lot more things like Odin did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just messaged him right now to see if he's okay.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think so far? I mean, you two know, Ferran coach, you guys already know him. G, what do you think about him so far as a person, as a player? Like, how are you feeling going into the season with this guy?
I love his mentality, like his perspective on life overall, on how he just he's back on.
It's all right, keep talking. We'll get him back on in a minute.
And like I was saying, I like his perspective on life, on how he works hard to just keep going and going, man, because I could definitely relate to that. That's
cool.
Definitely the same way I keep pushing myself. So
George,
him saying that, just I could
Can you hear me?
relate to that.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm sorry, man.
Dude,
Listen,
you're good.
This is how hot it is. My phone overheated.
In there, dude, that happened to me the other day. That happened to me the other day, bro.
I think something's going on with the phones because mine's been hot for the last month, man.
Well,
mine's never did this. My mind's never did this.
We're in heat index 3 right now, so I totally hear you. It happened to me the other day too. Well, we were saying
5G.
Go
5G.
ahead. It's all right, G. We heard you. We promise. Yeah, not G. He's in the car with his air conditioning. That's actually works. If you put the air conditioner on top of the phone, it's great. No, we were just building you up right now, just talking about how we think you're going to do going into the year, how we feel, the impact you're making on us. And, G was saying he loves your mentality. He loves the approach that you have. Since we only got about 10 minutes left, I do want to get into your business aspect. You mentioned that you have other things going on. You have Odds Are Overrated. Can you explain what that is?
So I came up with Odds Are Overrated. Sorry if it's dark, but I came up with Odds Are Overrated because I don't really like to talk about it a lot, but after college I had got hurt and I had surgery. I've left that part out, but I had surgery. But the doctor said I wasn't. After the surgery, it was an unsuccessful surgery, and the doctor said I wasn't going to be able to play basketball again. So then after that, that's when I had got hurt when I was going to these D-League trials. I hurt my knee, so I had surgery on my knee. Surgery was unsuccessful, and the doctor said I won't play basketball again. So I took that motivation to try to get back on the court, and that's
And you said, "Watch me."
What'd you say?
And you said, "Watch me."
I said, "Watch you."
They said you're not gonna play again, and you said, "Watch me."
Right. I basically like, yeah. I went to a deep stage in my life, and I was like, you know what? Forget this, man. Like maybe I should quit basketball, but I was like, I'm not gonna do that. So I went through a dark stage of like a revengeful stage in a sense, where I literally just stayed in the gym and I started playing ABA basketball to the point where I was like, okay, I can compete with ABA players. Let's see how high I can go. So then after that, I just came up with the thing Odds Overrated. I came up with my own brand. But now I'm just trying to one of the reasons I came out here because I want to kind of promote it a little bit more, do more stuff with it. Because I have a lot of documentaries that I've done with me playing overseas, Mexico, Morocco, even in a small place called Malta. So I was like, you know what, let me promote my brand. And so I'm just trying to branch out and do a little bit more as far as I want to do videography. I'm good at monetizing Instagram pages. I'm good at making promos and all that stuff. So I actually there's a community college that I help monetize their Instagram too. A women's basketball team out here in the Valley. But I just want to promote my brand a little bit more because I think that's a lifestyle. A lot of people can relate. I'm not trying to. I think a lot of people can relate to just Odds Are Overrated. You know what I mean? You can do whatever you want. That's what it's so. It's a lifestyle more than anything. So I just want people to relate to that more than just how the logo looks. No, that's you can do whatever you want. So that's a lot of personal investments that I want to do with that. Not really going to detail, but I want to do something big with it. But definitely right now, what I'm using with it right now is just making videos,
Hey,
going around making basketball
just so
videos.
y'all know, when I talked to him about playing, I was like, look, I'm cool if you just want to be a videographer.
Sorry,
Right.
If you done playing ball, I'm cool because we can do some more work. But he was like, no, I don't think I'm done playing. I'm like, all right.
Right. Yep.
Either way, we good. Let me know.
I was gonna stop. I was literally thinking about stop playing basketball, but being out here and just going to these games or recording games and making videos for these players, I'm like, bro, I really miss the game. Like, I watch these highlights of these kids that I'm going to record.
You can't watch.
And I'm
You can't just watch.
like,
Yeah.
No,
I can't
man,
watch.
because
I just can't watch.
No.
I just can't watch, man. And I'm just like, man, I can still play. I take care of myself. Like, I take care of my body. I'm like, yo, I can still play. I know I can. I mean, I know I can. So I was like, let me just, let me play. So when Ferran reached out to me and play, say, would you mind playing for the ABA? I was like, let's do it. I'm with it.
And then you get motivated even more when you actually miss the game. And it's like, yo, like, I really miss the game. Like, I want to get out there. So, like, that makes you even more hungrier.
Right.
Hey, Josiah.
Talk to me.
Before you were cut off, Coach was gonna ask you a question. Coach, do you want to go ahead and ask him, or do you want me to throw it out there?
Yeah, it was just who would you compare your game to?
That's right.
Wise, past or present?
Oh, wow. Man, I don't know. I never really thought about that. There's people that I watch, but I don't.
Wow.
I don't know, man. That's a good one. That's a good question. That's a great question. I really don't know. I don't know. I watch people. I went to go play with Buddha like 3 weeks ago. The first time I met him, actually. And we played open gym. And I knew for a fact once we were on the court, it was just like, this is like, oh, yeah, this is where it's at. Like, we was on the same team. And it was like, and I feel like I had been playing with him for years. But I already knew his mindset before I even met him. But we were talking about, I was asking him because he's older. So I was like, yo, what players do you watch? And he was naming people like Paul Pierce. He named Dwayne Wade, like the older Dwayne Wade, how they like basically how the people who play with pace. And I was like, I said, that's why I know. I said, I know I like you, Buddha. So I watch people like, I like people who play with pace. One of my favorite players is Joe Johnson. My favorite player of all time is Carmelo Anthony, just because. But I'm not as quick as him. I'm not as explosive as him.
But with Carmelo, with that being said, you said Carmelo. Now that he's in his older stage playing basketball, do you see his game changing? Like from
no. That's the only downfall I don't like. I think he has to change his mindset. He can still play, of course. He can still give people one-on-one buckets. That's easy. But as far as like the role player, being a role player, like I don't think he has embraced that fully. Like, look at Vince Carter, man. He's a perfect example of how, like, you know what I mean? He embraced, like, he involved with his age in the game, a role player. And like, I think that's the only disappointment I have about Carmelo. Like, he still feels like he's on top of his game, and he's still good. Don't get me twisted, but I don't think he's not Denver Nuggets Carmelo. He's not the same. He's not the same.
It happens.
Not the same.
So with that said, go ahead, Josiah. With that said, earlier you said you didn't have a favorite player. But from what I'm hearing, you have respect for a lot of players. So we're going to ask you the same question we ask everybody. Who would be on your top 5, your Mount Rushmore of the NBA? Could be any year, any era, any position.
You're talking about my favorite players,
if
I name the best players in the NBA.
For your fave 5, whatever in your heart.
If you were an owner and you had to pick 5 players on your team, who would they be?
Ooh.
Positionless. That's fine.
Like
From any era.
We've had some weird mixtures. I want to hear what you got.
I will put Dennis Rodman.
Okay, I like
Dennis
Rodman. Okay. I like Rodman. Okay, let him go.
Okay.
That's a
good defensive player.
I'm going off what Doc said. She said if you're starting a team, I would have Dennis Rodman.
Okay.
Just because he can guard 1 through 5, and that's what I do. I can guard 1 through 5. Well, not anymore. Maybe like 3.
All right, let him finish. I want to hear this. This is gonna get good. Okay, let's count the other 4.
Kobe Bryant,
of course.
Man,
we don't let people out of this one. You have to finish all 5.
Joe Johnson.
Okay, Joe Johnson.
That's just because I just like Joe Johnson. I just like his game. I like how he plays with pace. Kobe Bryant, Joe Johnson, Dennis Rodman.
Who's gonna play the 2 though?
So we're naming favorite players, or if we're making a team.
I said faves, but you can
make favorite players.
Okay, well, let's do favorite players.
My favorite top 5.
We're doing favorite players.
Top 5 favorite players.
Top 5 favorite players. Carmelo Anthony, Kobe Bryant, Paul Pierce, Joe Johnson, and 5.
Who's your big?
My favorite big of all time, man. I gotta go with Carmelo, man.
The mailman.
Okay, the mailman.
The mailman.
All right. I told you we were gonna get a good mix with him. I had a feeling. That was cool. Sorry we pushed you so much on that one. That's one of our favorite tasks.
The Lakers thought he was a 5'2", so
stop it, right?
I like bigs who got a little touch. You know what I mean? Like I like Al Horford too. He grew on me when he was with the Celtics. He grew on me a lot.
Hey, the mailman delivered his packages. He delivered his packages on time.
Yeah, you're right.
Crazy.
So yeah.
Yeah, man, dude, Josiah, this has been freaking cool. We got probably about 5 or so minutes left. It's been awesome getting to hear your journey. I mean, we all knew some of your journey, but you're giving us so much more. And just getting to know you, dude, and you're freaking cool as hell. It's awesome. I got to ask, with all the craziness that's going on right now, and we're going to do a lot of community work, what do you feel that you can carry to the community? And what is your final message just for the whole Oxnard, not just the fan base, but Oxnard in general, whether it's for basketball or community? So, like, you using your pro status, what would you want to tell them?
What was the last question? If I had to,
for the community, using your professional status, what message do you want to deliver to the community right now with everything that's going on? Whether it's Corona or the riots or whatever, anything.
Right. Man, my biggest thing is love, man. I'm just huge on love. I think love is the most powerful force on this earth, man. I mean, like, Jesus died on the cross for our sins, so that, like, he did that out of love.
Amen.
You know, that's his love. So if you look at things that's going on now, man, you know what I mean? Like, take care of yourself, love yourself, take care of your body, love your neighbors. You know, and if we talking about Oxnard, man, like, if you really love, if you're passionate about this season or who you are, maybe you're a doctor, a coach, basketball player, whatever you are, you know, if you really love what you do, you know, do it to the best that you can, man. And, like, if you really love it, man, I think love is the motivation to everything. Love is the biggest thing. So I would just say, man, like, love your people more, man. Love who you are more. Love what you do. Love everybody, man. I think if people come with their approach of love, everything will fall into place.
Absolutely.
And that's including the riots, Black Lives Matter, the pandemic, you know, even being a professional of what you do. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
I have an honest question to ask you. So you were out in the protesting stages. Was that as a videographer, or was that as a stance of what you believe in?
That was both. I went out. So I went to one by myself, just by myself. My cousin's here, but I didn't tell nobody. I just went by myself, just let feel the energy, what's going on, get my thoughts together. You know, what's really going on? Like, what's really going on? You know what I mean? That's why I really wanted to know what's going on right now. This 2020 has been crazy. Lord, what's going on? And then I went again, and I just wanted to send out my last video that I have on my Instagram. I just wanted to make a video about it because I've been watching it a lot. And, you know, for me, when I get frustrated, I need an outlet. So what I did was I started going outside and running more, or like dribbling the basketball, working on cardio, doing certain drills. So when I made that video that you saw, which when you're talking about my Instagram, it was more of like showing how I deal with certain things that's going on in the world. You know what I mean? Like, so, but yeah, that was that. The protest kind of hurt me. You know, it hurt everybody, man. It's just it was a deep, not the protest, the whole Black Lives Matter is, you know, it hurt. It hurt. So
what's reality?
So it was just like, you know what, like. Right. You know what I mean? It's so much deeper, man. Like we're not gonna get into it, but it was just, for me, it was just like let me just make a video about this, man. Like how I feel about it. I didn't want to make a video of like people saying Black Lives Matter, like all this like revengeful stuff. It's just like, this is a video of how I cope with certain things that's going on in my life. So yeah, that's why I made a video of the gym working out.
Cool, man. Thanks.
It's your passion, brother. Awesome. So with that said, you know, it's about time to close out. Josiah, this is where we're going to go around square to square. Everybody's going to get their final questions into you, and then we'll be on our way. Again, I want to thank you so much, dude. It's been freaking awesome. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to start with, we're talking about feelings and stuff and emotions. Let's go ahead and start with the coach. Coach, what do you got? There we go.
Yeah, so just a couple things. If you're following PBT, one of our guys is playing for P3 guys is playing right now. Silent cancer. He's the big 6'10" dude. But they're playing the Syracuse squad, and tonight at 6 o'clock, I'm going to be talking to and interviewing the air up there from N1. The only ever do a 720 in the game, so I'm excited about that. So yeah, if you could check it out, let me know what you think. But yeah, I'm sure. I've talked to Josiah through it, you know, Instagram a lot, and I told him he was gonna love Buddha, playing with Buddha. That was the first thing I think I told him. That's the first because I have a big visions for those two playing together, inside out, both ways, and it's just gonna be an exciting time. He fits in with all aspects of what Fran's vision of the Orcas is, on and off. And, you know, I'm going to be connecting with Josiah about some video stuff for our ministry as well. And the fact that he's a believer, it's just right on point. It just all fits like we've talked about every week. Every player fits what we're trying to for. We don't have to force something. We're not forcing square in a peg hole. It's just all the pieces are fitting. And it's going to be a good experience whenever we get started. So a good time. It's only the beginning.
Hopefully soon.
You got a reaction to that, Josiah?
Nah, man, it's like I said, it's just everything feels right. You know what I mean? Just like what he said. His first thing he said was Buddha. And, you know, I didn't really know Buddha. I still don't know him. I only met him one time.
He's awesome,
when we
bro.
played, like I said, when we played, I automatically thought about Coach. Like when we were playing, we was on the same team. Cause I was looking to play against him. I was like, I want to see how good he is. You know what I mean? But like, we ended up on the same team. But when we ended up on the same team, we didn't lose. It was just like I just knew what he wanted to do, and it's almost like he knew what I wanted to do. So I already knew his mindset, and I just kept on thinking about Coach when he said that. I was like, he was right, man. This is crazy. So
yeah,
right.
All right, G, I'm gonna let you go now because you got to bounce. What do you got for your final thought?
Yeah, yes, I just want to thank you for coming onto the show. I appreciate it. We appreciate it very much, right. And we just wanted to wish you luck, and hopefully the trials come around the corner very soon, man, so we can see you out there doing your thing, and hopefully you make the team. And just want to wish you best of luck, man. It was nice meeting you as well. Thank you for everything.
Sure, man. Appreciate it, man. Good meeting you.
Sure. All right, Fran, go for it.
Lastly, I just want to ask, man. I mean, I interviewed you on the sports show, so we're not strangers.
Right.
But I did hear some things that I didn't hear on the sports show. What do you equate your mental toughness to? I know you say that, you know, your mom kind of sheltered you, but you still grew up in that environment. So what do you equate that mental toughness, that drive?
I don't know, man. Like I keep on saying I'm reminiscing about my life. Like I always look at things that made me successful this far. Because this is a new chapter in my life. And I was like, what step did I take, or what got me my mental toughness, or how did I become a hard worker? Where did this come from? You know what I mean? I don't know where that came from, man. I really don't know. Maybe it's because of a lot of just always trying to prove people wrong. I don't know. I deal with a lot of being treated unfair by my friends, by so-called friends, stuff like that, or being sheltered, people joking me, saying stuff about me, always, or I didn't have the nicest gear or whatever, because we was come from humble beginnings. So just the mental toughness came from people just joking me, or just make all the embarrassments. It just I started building, what is it called, calluses. It just started building calluses to where when people say stuff to me now, it doesn't faze me. Like, you can joke me now, or if you say something to me, or if you try to get in my head, it's not working. I've heard it all. You know what I mean? It's almost turning like a weakness into positive. Like, it's just, I've seen it all, I've done it all. So like, I've heard it all. So when things get tough, I've been through, the hard beginnings from growing up has built calluses in my mind to the point where it's like there's not a lot of stuff that phases me, to be honest.
Go ahead.
I talked to one of the team owners yesterday, and he mentioned that a lot of times you might not have to be as athletic as the person, but if you know what their mental weakness is, you could definitely play on that, and that'll take you out your game more so than yourself. So I appreciate you saying that, man. And a lot of there's no wrong answer to the mental toughness. It's just I wanted to know if you could articulate it, because sometimes we search for that, right? And we look in our lives to figure out where that comes from, because that being driven can be a positive and a negative in the same retrospect. So understanding where it comes from, but then also understanding where it shows up.
Right.
And being driven could also drive you crazy just in the same end result as well. So that's why I asked that question.
Sadly, that's true all over the place right now. We're running out of time, so George, go for it, bro.
All right, I just wanted to apologize, first of all, for coming in late because I had to do something with my brother. So sorry about that. But my question to you, Josiah, is since you said earlier in the show that you could defend all 5 positions, maybe not anymore, not as well as you did before.
Right.
Who's the guy that you compare to in today's NBA game in this era?
No, he missed that question.
In today's game.
To be honest, man, if I had to say something, because I made my living playing college basketball, even high school, just hard working and playing defense. So if I had to guard, I don't know, man, there's so many people can do so much stuff in the NBA now. But I don't know, man. I don't want to say Kawhi. I don't want to say Kawhi because I'm not on the level of Kawhi. But as far as how he approaches the game, I think that's my mindset. He's not flashy. He can do whatever you need him to do. He can do it. He's become way more a scorer. But Kawhi, when he was his rookie year, when he got MVP, his rookie year with the Spurs, that's how I am. As one, that's do what you want me to guard. Okay, 1 through 5. Also, if you need me, I can give you buckets too. So I would have to say Kawhi.
And I was actually thinking about that because, you did say that you're not one of those guys that celebrates every shot, doing this, showboating and everything.
Right. That's not me,
you
man.
just move on to the next possession, move on to the next play.
Right.
So that's what I like about you, and you're poised about it too. So that's what I like about you as well.
Good to see you.
Appreciate that, man, for sure.
All right, Doc, take us home.
All right, Josiah. Well, thank you so much for being on here. I'm really looking forward to see how you progress through the season, if you do make it onto the team, and how you gel with the other teammates. Buddha is my guy. Love that guy. I actually played with him on the Loot League, 35 and over.
Yep, I saw it. Yeah, I've seen that.
So I know that everybody loves playing with Buddha. He's very inspirational. Yeah, I'm excited to see what will come in the future.
Appreciate it.
It's gonna be fun.
I'm actually going to someone invited me to play in the 3-on-3 tournament at Venice Beach, and I've never been out Venice Beach, so I'm going there right after this. I'm supposed to be there too. So
all right, we'll finish up right now. Then it's funny you say that because they just had something on Father's Day. So we'll just leave it at that. It's again, this was Dubl Drbl, episode number 9. The title was Against All Odds, and you went against a lot of odds to get to where you are. You seem like you're a level-headed guy. You seem like you're ready to go. but you're respectful in the process. You're God-fearing. That's amazing. It's going to be a fun year. I pray that you make the squad because I'm really looking forward to seeing you on the court again, Josiah.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
It's going to be cool. Again, on behalf of myself, Double R, we got the dude George, we got the Doc, we got Coach Don, we had Big G Asensio, and the boss man for Ron. Again, Double Dribble episode 9 against all odds. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Josiah. And that's about it. We'll check you next week. Go Orcas.
Hate that term, boss.
That's right. I can't drop it. I always call you boss. We're out of here, guys.